Well, we'll definitely talk about that more and get to it. I figure I'll go and hop right into the introduction. So, my name is Aaron Yancey, and this is my big brother, Lester Yancey. Want to say what's up? Yeah, this is our very first episode of Brothers Need Therapy. And I'll say I'm originally from, I was born in Germany, but we both grew up in St. Louis. My brother was born in St. Louis. And I figure right from the jump, we would just, in the beginning, go ahead and just say why we're doing this, what we got the idea for Brothers Need Therapy, and what we hope we'll get out of it. So I'm going to let you start off, big bro. Kind of just say how you got the idea for Brothers, because it was originally you that came up with the idea.
Yeah, and I'm still working, still trying to figure it out, just trying to figure out how to do things, and, just coming from a business background of like how to make it work, because, we have all these different tools and gifts, and some people know how to do one thing with it or whatever, and you got to, if it's cultivated. But anyways, it came from just seeing how jacked up we black men are. And I'm a prime example, of that.
Not just black men, but men in general. Cause,
well, I'll say, but I can't say I can't speak for the other, the other men's, their battles and stuff like that. I know mine, and I know that it's very similar to a lot of black men as well. And I see what the ripple effects of it down the road. So I think you gotta get. It's almost like when you're going to get your doctorate, and when you do your research, how they tell you have to get so specific. Like you have to weed all this other stuff out, you have to get right down to it. So that's why I was like, all right, that's a case study. But it really came out of an altercation. I was like a verbal altercation with this dude, and it was all like, both of us, I was like, it doesn't need to be like this. And then as he was walking out, you need therapy. And then I was like, oh, it's stuck. Then I was like, all right, I gotta change it up and all that stuff that goes with it. So
yeah. My big brother, he initially came to me with the idea after that incident he was talking about. I think it was at a tattoo shop or whatever. And originally, I knew he was talking about having a business together. And it's weird how our lives, and we'll talk more about kind of we'll dive deeper into like our stories, background, whatever. But it had been like maybe a decade, it feels like, of like this period of time from the time I graduated high school to like the last few years where we didn't really connect at all because we both had our own lives going on. And so anyway, when he pitched this idea of like us doing this together, Brothers Need Therapy, and he was telling me about, even the name Brothers is not just, even though it kind of can sound like it's tailored towards just black men, it is tailored to men of all races. And even the slogan, Heal Men, Heal Communities, I could get behind that. It took me a minute though to be like, all right, let me do this. I have my own mental health stuff going on. I had to get right. So I feel like right now the timing is just right. And the main reason why I'm intrigued about doing this, even though I kind of have my hesitancies at first, because I was like, I don't know how it's going to work. My brother and I, even though we grew up in the same household, there's a lot of ways that we just think differently and move differently. But I was like, this actually could work well because it's good to not just, I want people to be able to see, there's a lot of family members that don't talk to their siblings at all. I've learned, like, they don't get along. And just people in general got so much beef going on against each other. So anyway, I figured this would be a good way for people to see two brothers talking to each other, sharing their everyday issues, telling their stories, and giving up some positive feedback, some positive ideas on how we dealt with our own personal mental health struggles. And we take every day one step at a time. So anyway, that's kind of just the introduction, and y'all gotta bear with this because in the beginning this is going to be very like organic. It's not going to I'm gonna be honest with you, he's not gonna be super polished yet. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be polished. I don't even really need it to be polished. I feel like we just want to be authentic and real and raw with y'all. So I figured the best way for y'all to get to know us in the beginning is we'll play a quick game called 21 Questions, classic game. But the way we'll do it is I'll ask 7 questions, and my brother will ask 7 questions to me. Kind of we'll alternate between them, and then I figure y'all could also ask us, the people that watch this later, ask us 7 questions by emailing us at the brothersneedtherapy@gmail.com. That's still running, right, big bro? Right? We got that going.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I figure you go ahead. You got a question? I'm gonna let you lead it off.
No, you can go first because I totally don't have nothing ready.
Alright, no worries. I thought I was gonna be the one. Because I came with my questions like last minute yesterday.
Ooh.
I was in the car. But this
Like
is
what?
good.
No. Okay. I guess my question is like, how did you feel when you asked your ex-wife to marry you? Like, what was that?
Time out. Before we go into this, I forgot to put one more disclaimer. Two disclaimers. We are not licensed therapists. My big brother actually is a therapist. Well, he has his he's an MSW. He has his master's in social work. He's working toward getting his license. And you'll learn more about him as time goes on. But any advice that we give is all life experience right now. And yeah, we got to put that disclaimer. And then 2, I forgot to say a big reason why I wanted to do this is because this is kind of like an archive for our kids someday. So we're gonna be real. I'm gonna have to go back in and edit some stuff later, but at the most, I'm gonna try to keep it PG-13. Sometimes it may go rated R, but we'll try to keep it PG-13. And once again, we just want to be honest and authentic as possible. And so anyway, all right, I just had to put those 2 disclaimers in real quick. You go, continue.
I was at that moment because I don't know. Yeah. Just answer the question. Like, how did you know? Like, you were like, all right, I'm gonna make a decision.
How did I know I was gonna get married? Like,
well, yeah. When did you make that decision? Like, was it a thought out thing, or was it like,
man, I feel like looking back on it, I had this feeling that she was the one. I don't know how to people talk that love at first sight. It was kind of a mixture of like love at first sight, but then also like as we kind of grew together in that first year at college, where we were just like hanging out all the time. I was like never in my dorm. I was always in her apartment. And then there was like one particular day when we decided to be a couple. And anyway, the short version is, I remember sitting there on the couch and being like we both kind of said, like, I feel like we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. I remember saying that to each other. But I don't remember like an actual proposal.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question, but it's kind of like,
I get it. Because it's like, it reminded me, like, it didn't make sense at the time, but then when Dad was on, like, the whole, like, I felt like I was, going along with the flow or whatever, but I wasn't, like, an active participant in my own life or the things that were going on around me, and I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah, it kind of like, that's what happened after I got married. Like, after I got married, that's when I feel like everything was like, life started. At first, during college, when we were dating and all that, and before we got married, it felt like I was more of an active participant. But after I got married, that's when life started like coming. Like I was just reacting to everything. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Let me. I got my journal here. Got my questions. Mine kind of goofy. Like some of these are kind of standard. I just said like, if you had a pet, what kind of animal would it be, and what would you name it?
Oh man, that's actually a good one. I thought about if I had like time for a dog, it would be a girl dog, and I named her Andre Benjamin.
Like Andre 3000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I keep Man, I could talk about these. Like, that's the bad thing about these questions. I'm trying to keep them short. I don't want to make the so too long. But yeah, I think about pets if I had the time. And this thing about dogs, real quick though, is like the idea of like having to pick up their crap. Like,
yeah, I don't. It's like
something about that.
I need you to contribute more than joy in the house.
Yeah, and we didn't grow up with pets either, too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like, it's different for us versus people that grew up with them. But go ahead and shoot a question at me.
Okay, all right.
Keep them tally too, so we don't.
When do you ever like daydream or like ever about what would have been if you would have played like it's playing high school ball at like Crossroads versus where you want to sit? Like if you would have gone to Central.
Man, I don't think about Central a lot. But I do think about if I had gone to like, cause I remember Mom took me on a tour to Lupin North.
Okay.
And she thought it was too ghetto. But I was like, I remember thinking like they had a good band program. It was still a small school. And they always went to state every year. And they were like a mid-sized school. So anyway, and then Cardinal Ritter is another big one. I used to always daydream about like, what if I had like that black coach who was like hard on you. I always felt like I would do better with like that black man in my life that like yells at you, like got in your face, and like
that's how we respond.
like curse you out, like that kind of like you know, like that was a good father. He was a good leader, but it wasn't like he led in a different way. You know, but he had his own style. So I don't know. I feel like my coach that I had at Crossroads, I love him to death to this day. He's still like a good. We keep in touch every once in a while, but like. He came from a different world, and also I feel like I had too long of a leash. I got away with too much stuff, like discipline-wise. So yeah, I do. But I feel like I was at Crossroads for a reason. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good question. All right. Classic, all-time favorite song. What's your all-time favorite song?
Man, it's hard.
I know. I figure it's hard.
That is hard, cause it's just. I mean, it's just too much music in my head. If I had to pick one, and this is always my litmus test for where I am mentally. I have to do with a war tour by Tribe Called Quest. It's something about it's one of them songs where it's all like, if I'm having a bad day, that's the song I turn on and it's like, okay, I can ride this out. And if it's all like, if it's not, I'm like, all right, I'm probably have somebody check on me or something.
You know what? I need to listen to that song again because, like, you know how you listen to certain songs when you're younger? Like, a song I haven't listened to in a while. Like, depending on your headspace, you're not really able to take in the words the way you would. Some songs are more significant at different periods of your life. I ain't listening to that again. All right. Yeah, your turn.
Oh, man. How many kids did you ever have, like, think about how many kids you wanted? Because I ended up with 2, and I was all like, I started writing on the ball, and I'm all like, yeah, we're gonna have to stop this right here.
See, it's a funny question because, like, there's so many variables to this question. One, how you can sense when family members are like, when they gonna start having kids? So you got like that pressure. Part of it was also being part of that white cult, basically, which I'll talk about later. And all of them had a bunch of kids from it. But like, really, a lot of times I'll refer to my ex as Katie. That's my little name for her. But Katie and I would talk about, man, we should have just stopped it too. But yeah, we never really talked. She always used to like hint that she wanted a big family. And she was fertile Myrtle, and I was like, yeah, I could just look at her and we have kids. So anyway, we didn't really talk about it. Once I got married, started going with the flow.
And it's all like
Matthew just kind of showed up. The first two I would say were playing.
yeah.
The last two, like Matthew just showed up, and then after that crazy experience, I was born early. I was going to go get a snip by Uncle Arnold. Didn't do it, and then Ava showed up and ended up before, and then I was I was just dragging my feet about doing the procedure, and she was like, "I'm gonna take one for the team." So. Yeah, I'm trying to like say it as clean as possible.
Yeah, no, I get you. I totally, because it's, man, oh Lord, I feel it's, because you look back on different parts of your life, you're like, oh, because, I had, who in my ear talking about, y'all can't afford, you like 20 something, I'm making $8 something an hour at the time, working at bars, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, shoot, barely afford, ourselves. And then, she showed up, and I'm like, and I said the most ignorant thing in that delivery room. I was like, how am I afford this child? And I was all like, because it's all like, at the time, it's all like, I only got a high school diploma. Can't, like, high school diploma, and I didn't have no, like, street sense, no hustler's mentality. Like, I've always, now I work, like, I'm gonna work and get a check, but, the whole, getting bag here, I'm just now maybe learning how to do that. But at the time, it was all like, but people don't realize, man, kids is, you either have them young and struggle, have them young and struggling, or, have them older and, be tired all the time.
See, that's exactly, real quick, I was gonna say, I learned, I used to preach that to people, I was like, there's no perfect time to have kids anyway. Because, whether you're young,
there's a more ideal time.
Yeah, it does help to have some
money.
But I feel like we were a lot happier when we were struggling. And when all of a sudden, when I got put on, it was like making more as a banker, and I did like the climb. The climb is weird. It's weird. I feel like we were like those times we were struggling. We were like praying together and like just like wondering like where we're gonna get an apartment at. Those like drives around through the city, like who's gonna take a family of 6 in a tiny apartment. Those kind of moments. I feel like those closer moments than the moments when things are like going better. It's weird.
I get it. I've been through that, and it's like I think now I'm at the point where it's, you like I'm tired of you tired of struggling. You tired where your check don't come from. So I'm like,
struggle produces. I feel like struggle refines you. Like something about it. I feel like at every step, every time we have more like another child, I've had to step my game up. It's weird. Versus like they kind of kept me on my toes. It's weird. So looking back on it,
yeah. All right.
And then I have my nervous breakdown. After I hit the top of the mountain.
I swear, it's like you a black man. You can't go crazy. Like you, if you know how many times, man, I don't have to take some, and I'm glad I've learned, over time how to really like, harness and control, that anger or whatever. But sometimes it's like, damn, man, you got to walk around a building, you got to go somewhere, you got to, scream into a damn pillow, you got to let it out to some degree. But then, yeah.
That's something we're gonna talk about more later too, so people can get we got like a little foreshadowing to future episodes.
Yeah.
But
answer a question.
What's that?
Whose turn is it to ask a question?
Oh, it's my turn.
Right.
I was gonna say real fast though, just that whole thing that we're not allowed to go crazy. I've heard a lot of women say that since they were kids, like especially black women, since they were kids, that they are expected to care for the needs of others. But they're allowed to cry in front of people. Like that example I told you about my coworker who just started crying. But we'll talk about it more later. So it's a big difference. So hold on. It's your turn to ask me a question, I think. Or darn it, I lost track that quick.
Me too.
Because you just asked me. Did you ask me about kids?
Yeah. Okay, the number of kids stopped.
So it's my turn to ask you. So all-time favorite movie.
Oh, It's hard. I was going with my. I have to go with the white movies because all the black movies are just so great. And, you know, I think my two favorite, of course, Shawshank Redemption and Forrest Gump. And then for black movies, Harlem Nights, because all the black people win.
Yeah, that's classic. Yeah.
That's
Man.
Oh, and Boomerang, because Boomerang actually he was brilliant enough to, you still dealt with some surface level things that people deal with in relationships, but he kind of got under the crust, you know, the crust of like, all right, why, you know, people, you know, why, you know, hey, why am I smashing my partner's homegirl that, you know, they never solidified they, you know, relationship or put a title on it. It was a very, you know, brilliant movie. And then it's, you know, put different classes together. You know, I can't just pick one, so.
Yeah, well, hey, that's a good list, though. Yeah, that's another movie I have to go back. It's been a while since I watched, just to get, you know, different mind frame. But, all right, your turn. We got 4 more. Man, this feels like a lot of questions once you realize.
Right.
But yeah, we're on number 4. You're on number 4.
Let me see. Man, this is a hard one. Just what is your what do you? No, I don't want to go there. No, go ahead. I ask, like, what is your prediction of, like, after all this Rona stuff ends, like how things are gonna operate?
Man, I was just thinking today. I got my doomsday scenario, and I got my, like, optimistic. I mean, both of them are optimistic. So, both, like, the doomsday is like Jesus comes back on Easter, or sometime around then. It takes everybody back before all the craziness hits the fan. So I ain't got to experience all that. The other,
hopefully, I'm asleep.
yeah. The other scenario is just like, I've been thinking about, like, servers. Like, basically, you know what happened with Blockbuster? Like, now that's across every industry. So all the industries that are already struggling, the government ain't gonna bail out. Like, what's about like the malls all gonna look like Jamestown in St. Louis and Bannister Mall? Like, what are those spaces gonna look like? Servers, like, will they exist anymore? Because people are not gonna trust, you know, even in restaurants as much. Bartenders.
Right.
Like, all the service industries, what is it gonna look like?
The yoga game, like, I don't, because I got my certification end of last year, and then I took a few weeks off, like a month off, and then I started, you know, easing my way into, you know, getting my reps in, you know, start doing free stuff. I was, like, on the talks with a, you know, yoga studio, because they were, like, trying to trying to figure each other out and stuff like that. But I'm all like, but I'm teaching virtually, and I'm just hoping, like, because I've already got a format, you know, when it's ready, and space and ideas and stuff like that. But I'm all like, right now, I'm all like, one of these jokers got to blow, and maybe hopefully somebody see this want to give me some money. But what else? College scam central.
That's a doctor, engineer. That's about it.
Yeah, you only need to go to them chemistries, them maths. Yeah. But business, like, that was the thing. That's one thing I miss. I like, because, like, you have, like, for me, my love for social work and stuff like that with people is like the same way with yours of business. So it's all like, man, if I had that, man. Photography, you don't need and just showing how much you don't need. I think they're brick and mortar schools, you know, some be there, but it's gonna be sad because I don't think some HBCUs are gonna survive this. Like, I think we'll be as a whole, we'll be okay.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
we adjust.
So what do you say? What the last thing you just said?
I just said as a whole we'll be fine because we always adjust and overcome. You know, strong. You know, there's just evolution.
So yeah, that's the last part of that is I think for the better is going. It's basically all the things that we predicted that will happen in the coming years are just gonna have to get sped up a lot quicker. And like, yeah,
I just
adapt or survival of the fittest is for real now.
I don't know, man. I just don't hope I hope it never gets to like violence in the streets. Like,
yeah,
like people take for granted how good we have it here. Like, the only it's like the Christian shitty part, but then you got to go to the hood or whatever where they shoot. But to be in some of these like war zones where it's all like something popping off on the regular, that ain't what you want. But yeah.
All right, stories about people getting beat for going out in like India and stuff. Like, you can't go out this. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but that's wild. Like, we ain't got to deal with that. Like, you can actually go out.
We over here enjoying T-Pain and Lil Jon.
Yeah, it's wild. But all right, Mark. All right, I feel like your questions are way deeper than mine. Like, it's really good. I got these.
Oh, you know what? That gets annoying to me as a point because it's all like I guess just have that natural social work, in quiz, like I'm gonna ask a deeper level question, but sometimes I just want to be like, man, this will cover the sky or something. I don't know, but
yeah,
okay, it don't matter. You good?
I normally this was wild when I like used to do live on Live Me and stuff. But I used to like that's how I am. I just come up with stuff on the fly. But I was like, let me try to make it all structured and make it seem like we.
Nah, keep it simple.
All right, favorite food, meal dish, which, yeah, I don't.
Oh man, mom's mac and cheese, and then dad's rice pudding.
Good.
And I didn't realize until I brought up to other folks that black folks really don't mess with rice pudding like that. And I was all like, Dad, where'd you discover? I asked him, like, where did you discover this?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Dad make some. Let's see if he'll make some.
Like, if you remember, I remember the first time I was introduced to Grandma's rice pudding. I was like, what the hell is this?
Not the same, yo. Yep. Don't let Grandma know. This better not get out.
Yeah.
She's gonna get you. Man, I can talk. That's a whole nother subject for another point. Like, food. Remember, make a mental note. We're gonna talk about one episode. It's like eating food growing up. Like, what that experience was like for you. Like,
bruh.
Cause yeah, I've had some conversations with
negotiating.
What's that?
Ain't no negotiating.
Well, not just that. I just had some conversations with people, and like, after getting married, realizing like certain things I just didn't know about food until I got out the house. But we'll talk about that later. It's another. Your question.
Okay. Here we go. What was it like dating after your divorce?
Oh man, let's just say I wrote a book about it. I'm rewriting it. I took all my books out, rewriting them all. But I say, to sum it up, one, it was weird. It was really weird because you got your 20-year-old, like I always say, like the ones that are in their 20s who just don't know nothing and make me feel old. And then you got like the 30-year-olds in the butt. Like I started.
If you feel old at like 30, what? Because I'm 37, 38. What, you 33?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all like if you feel that way at 33, bro.
Bruh, like I started to learn like the magic numbers. Like I feel like if I ever get in a serious relationship with again, it's gonna be something by like 27, 28. I ain't feeling the older women no more. Because the older women, like I was married to older women, but she was 2.5 years older than me. They really think they your mama, like for real. Like even if you act, I get it. Sometimes men, we act like little kids. We do dumb stuff.
And you know what the voice in their head for us is like, okay, like let me
go into that little boy mode, like subconsciously without even trying. but I respect the older women because like they know what they want. Like they already been through all the BS. They dealt with all the games. They like don't mess with me. Like they know what they want. They tell you what they want, and you just give it to them. And yeah, so this is say it was. I got stories. The first time was just I was in a bad headspace and depressed. And you make dumb decisions, but then now I feel like I'm in a better headspace where it's not just like I'm out of my whole phase.
I don't know.
I'm like, in a way better headspace. So
man,
good question.
I think I'm in jaded land. And I've been saying that a lot. It's just, bro, it's like, cause it's all like, hold on, cause Lee, you know, we was married for 11 years, and then, but we was really, you know, black folk, we don't get divorced or whatever. So, you know, stretching, you know, we don't have the resources to really break up. It's cheap to get married, cheap as hell.
Yeah, we just don't get married. Oh yeah, we do get married.
Nah, cause it's all like, cause afterwards, it didn't feel really different until mine was like finalized, and then you know, my first serious relationship afterwards, I'm thinking like, cause you're like, cause when you're dating, when you're, you know, separated, it's purgatory. You're like, this shit can't go nowhere. Well, excuse my language, whatever. But this can't go nowhere. But it can, you know, we can have this. And sometimes you're gonna want more. Everybody wants to move up in the company at some point. Some people want, you know, small promotions. Some people want big promotions. But at some point, conversation is going to be had of what are we doing in this situation. And that's both sides.
You just dropped a line from that video you told me to watch about you said move up in the company.
Yeah, Patrice O'Neal. But
Royce O'Neal said that?
Patrice O'Neal,
yeah. I think I'll read.
But it's just like, you know, because after that didn't work, I was like, I was really kind of thinking like things like love had to be linear and stuff like that. But at some point, like, bro, I done seen some of the stuff in the army. I done seen, you know, you try not to let that get to you, but you just see too much griminess. You see how the sausage is made, and then you like, if it's gonna work, you gotta just reach the road to acceptance and be like, look, this person's gonna do whatever the hell they want. As long, you know, you gotta have those boundaries and the protective factors of, you know, I'm not gonna let them mess up my peace, my finances, or whatever. But then I think about it, like, are you this way because you just got beat down so much, or is it like how the world really works? Because you'll see, but once again, you don't know because people don't really talk. Like, their relationships that look so happy on the outside, I want to see what's like, open up the curtains.
Yeah.
This facade of, like, you know, of marriage, how it's supposed to be, and
I don't know.
You get married, you know, 3-4 months in, you ain't getting the same, you know, the news she used to send you, and she probably ain't getting the same treatment you used to give her too. Like, so, you know, I be wanting to know, like, how do you sustain when you get to those? Nobody really kind of gets into that.
I really wish I could get mom on here. You think you miss mom?
Hey, if she hops in, I'm hopping out.
You know, it's have her to, I don't know, like, get popular, like, I don't know, get other.
I just always say that, like, Dad had to deal with his issues with women with one woman, like his love issues and stuff like that. I've said this so many times before, but I've had to deal with it with more than one, and it's all like every time it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, man, once again, we're foreshadowing to like future conversations, like episodes. We got this to say we're gonna have at least.
I remember I'll say this. I remember I was in denial about my parental issues. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, oh, you know, I ain't got no mom issues. I ain't no mama's boy or whatever. I ain't no dad issues, whatever, blah blah. And it's all like, I started going to therapy. Like, oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out real quick to there's a podcast called Affirmed. I've been listening to a lot more lately, like podcasts by women of all races to get a better perspective this time around. Stuff I should have been listening to in my podcast weren't around when we were teenagers. I think I would have been a podcast junkie. But anyway, shout out to Affirm. They said it best in one of like episode 2. This girl was like, it's like having your like a vase smashed on the ground. There's shattered pieces, but you walk back in the kitchen and don't realize you just like the vase was even broken, but like the glass was broken glass, and like you stepping on those shards like all the time. And
you don't. It's the body like in shock. You don't know there's a problem until somebody says it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, what do you do about it?
Yep.
And so much gets pushed to the wayside, and you don't address it. You're trying to get to your bottom line. It's always gonna be there.
Especially fellas. But all right, let's keep it moving. Cause this is gonna be like a 2-hour episode if we keep it going.
No, it ain't.
But it's all right. We can always break it into part one.
Okay, it was your turn.
What is therapy to you?
What is what?
Therapy to you. Like, what is therapy to you? Kind of like hard.
Actually, going to therapy, I do telehealth now. And I was almost about to switch, but I'm glad I didn't. I would have ended up right back on telehealth anyway. That was cool. Just some place where I could dump like 3 months worth of stuff. Because like Kid Cudi gave a very good interview. He was on I think Other Tone, yeah. And he was just talking about, you want to tell your friends, like you want to tell your friends you're like messed up, but you don't want to make it awkward. And it's like, so where, they don't know what to do with, they don't know what to do with that information. And so it's like, so then you feel like, oh, I can't talk to nobody. And then you hold it in, and then it just, all these different things. So you have to go to a therapist to just, not even to get guidance, just to maybe just dump everything out. What else? Yoga is my therapy. Jiu-jitsu, I miss that. That was my therapy. The jiu-jitsu is what showed me how much, the abuse I experienced, all that, whatever's all, how my body reacted. Writing, trying to finish the book. Photography is another thing. Just trying to have all these hobbies, these therapeutic, escape, because, work is work and school is school, and the pressures of life are always going to be there. You gotta have somewhere where you ain't gotta think about it.
Just as you were saying all that, I realized I didn't phrase the question right. I really meant to say, like, what is your definition of therapy? But you said it, like, you answered it in a way, I'm glad you went and told all the other stuff. Because I think of those, like, self-care. We'll talk about another time. But, like, in the very beginning, you just clearly said, like, having a place, like, a safe place to, like, dump everything.
And I'll jump in real quick. And then, too, there's also, kind of going to the modalities. There's structured. Some people need structure in their lives when it comes to it. And so you look at some of these, therapeutic modalities, and they go through, okay, you go through these steps, you do these homeworks, so you can change the circuitry in your brain so you're thinking different. So you can be like, what it is, like, with candy. Like now, I made it a point to, I'm like, I don't want to eat candy anymore. And so I put something in my brain. I'm like, all right, every time you think about eating candy, go to this ugly, picture, janky tea. That was pretty weird. Oh.
Now if I can do that with these McDonald's cookies, chocolate chip,
man.
All right, that's good. I like that. All right, your turn.
How do you feel like you had a handle on your mental health now versus maybe like 5 years ago?
5 years ago, once I was just reacting to everything, and so I had no all the terminology, all the things that I learned. Back then, all I had was God. That was it. It was like God and shame. That was the roller coaster I lived on. Either I was like close to God and was praying and like going to church and all that, whatever. And then I would like go into like shame, or I had my moments of mania, and then moments of just complete depression, just wanting to sleep for hours. And I had no clue what I was dealing with. Like I was just like surviving, like living, like going through the motions. kind of like the woman. I was, yeah. So back then, I was like the shattered glass and had no clue why I was like stepping on these pieces of shattered glass, or why my, you know, Katie and our ex-wife and I were like arguing all the time. And yeah, I was, so yeah. And then so now, I feel like there's still a whole lot of things that I feel like you'll never 100% arrive. I feel like until you get, I personally feel like you get to heaven and we have restored bodies and everything in heaven. That's my own personal belief. But on that journey, you grow a lot. And so yeah, now I feel like I have a whole lot better understanding of what was going on. I have terminology that helps me help me understand, have these concepts about co-occurring disorders, about even learning about the bipolar diagnosis and all that. My period of, you know, being on the hills and all that stuff. So, which I'll talk about more later. So now, yeah, to answer your question, to sum it all up, I feel like I have a lot better understanding of what I was dealing with, and I feel like I'm in a lot better headspace. Like,
yeah,
I'm on the offensive versus just like defensive, always reacting. So like when things come up now, more I'm like able to be like, oh no, I'm gonna nip this in the bud now, and not let it. Before other times I used to allow things to just linger for a long time, but now I'm able to like get ahead of it before I feel myself going down that hole. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You're yeah. For the outside, definitely tell, you know, definitely total different. You know, in regards to that, because I was still, sheesh, he years younger together, man. 15, I was in Atlanta. I was going to Kennesaw State. I was with old girl. Yeah, we were still married. Yeah. So, yeah, just interesting. Like you were saying, all the coke. And I think I sat down one day and saw, like, I was in the shower where all the great thoughts happened, and I was like, you be thinking about all this co-occurring, because all, like, you know, bipolar, depression, anxiety, you know, ADD, like, it's just all the things you like sheesh. Like if you fall into it, you be like, man, I don't know how to fuck it off. So definitely get it. Cause where was I? Like going to school, like just trying to go back, like trying to go. I was having fun because it was like I was working at the tattoo shop right around that too. So just a lot of fun, a lot of extracurricular activities, a lot of vices. You just got to be real careful with it. And there was a few times where I, you know, did spiral down some of those lanes or whatever. But luckily, you know, life, you know, and whoever, you know, higher powers looking out for me, it's all like, no, you know, keep you right on there. So you know, I don't even think, sometimes I still don't feel like I have a handle on my mental health sometimes. It's like, it's not as bad. Like my manic moments aren't, you know, they've had, you know, they're not as much. They're frustrating though, because it's all like, you'll go through the manic periods, and then when you come down, you're like, oh, you got to deal with that mess that you had, that you made while you was over there, you know, playing around with others, like doing too much on Amazon or reckless decisions or whatever.
So shout out real quick to my lady friend. You know, Grandpa always had lady friends. It's my good lady friend from Baltimore, Mandy. She just came in. So I was gonna say real quick to close that part out. I've learned that's part of one of our biggest problems is like it's not your job to like have a handle on your mental health bias like on your own. Like there's always this idea, I think, especially because we live in America, and there's this idea of like, you know, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, we talk a lot about in terms of self-care. Our culture is different. Like it's not like, just real quick to give an analogy, this guy talked about it like over in Africa. Like, I won't go on the complete tangent of this story, but he was talking about how in his culture they eat out of the same bowls, they drink out of the same cups. You know, it's not this like me, your own room. You know, we had our own rooms growing up. So that's a big reason why I'm even doing this with you. I feel like it's because we need each other. Like, so it's like so many of us isolate ourselves and try to like figure these things out on our own, rather than realizing like, no, like I need other people, not just a therapist, not just the church. Like you need a collection. It's like a village to like grow. So yeah.
Especially now, like man, you gotta check on your people out here, because everybody ain't built for this. Everybody ain't built for this, isolation or whatever. Even, people, introverts, like myself, or, faking, whatever it is. Like, you should be like, man, I just want to be around. You just want to be out.
All the people that were like going out every weekend, to go drink and party and stuff and all that, or like doing all the other stuff, like, yeah, that's good, but you don't realize like sometimes the things that we're doing are part of like there's a mental health issue going on. It's like coping mechanisms. And so like people that are now having to learn how to cope versus we were having to learn how to cope like months ago before all this happened. Right. And people that weren't going through all this now are just like, oh snap, I'm like losing. So anyway, last question. If you could hop into a time machine and give a quick little chat to your pep talk to your 8-year-old self, what would you say?
Shoot, man, 8, I'd just be like, man, start figuring out, start writing more. So try to like, just try different, don't be afraid to like try different stuff. Like, writing, ask about music, stuff like that. Well, 8, you're really not, that's a little too early because you really aren't cognizant of a lot of stuff at that age.
I feel like that's where all my memories are from. That's why I chose.
Yeah. I think I was, aware. So I would say later, get more into, the artsy stuff. Because it's all like, because it's all cool. Like, I feel like, all right, social work is cool and stuff like that, and, being a college advisor. But if I had my way, like, I would just be in the crib writing, get into photography, stuff like that. Or maybe try and paint and just try different, artistic stuff. It's like sitting at that computer and just like, or after a while, just be like, you just start seeing a lot of the same stuff. So.
Yeah, I would have definitely, I would have probably got into my trumpet more, like stayed with it, even knowing why I was playing it more. Like, not just been doing, I don't know, just not just going through the motions with it.
Yeah.
The music, all right, let's close it out. You got one last question from you, then we'll close it out. I think that's it.
What keeps you from giving up? Like, what is the motivating factor? Just like,
man, like the fact that every day that I wake up and God gives me breath to, breathe, I feel like it will be, and the fact that I look at other people that have, different types of ailments, or handicaps. And I'm like, man, God has given me a lot of gifts and talents, and I don't want to be on my deathbed saying I wasted them, the parable of the talents, the guy who, God gave this person this many, this other person many. So, that, and, having, the kids, and just, those are the main things,
Yeah, I get
it. I don't want to waste time.
Yeah, mine is like, if I give up, what else is there?
Yeah, what's the other option?
It's all like, I'm not trying to give up. I like, I don't work, like, I'm not by far, in my eyes, when it comes to money. But as a floor, I'm doing all right. Like, the rent gets paid, the bills get paid, doing all right. So it's all like, all right, well, I'm good, and I just don't want to waste, like you were saying, like, I'm like, man, I've worked way harder than some of these people. If somehow, some way, one of these ideas connects with something, and it goes, like, I'm like, this is just all and I think that's what keeps it going. I'm all like, something from this may be crack, teaching virtually yoga, that's something's going, maybe, work out something on the back end. But, you just got to always think that, that something's got to be done. And then too, just, how am I going to tell my kids something if I'm out here putting in work? How am I going to tell my kids to be better if, now I understand people that don't know how to be better. I've seen it. They just, no matter what, somehow, some way, life is, and I pray for them, like hoping, like, okay, they'll make it work. But yeah. I can't respect the ones that don't want to try. There we go.
Yeah. I will to close it out. Shout out real quick to Simply Kelly 23. She said, "You never know who you're helping." Basically, appreciate the vulnerability. I'm gonna have to. Is that somebody you know?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates. He was on that podcast with Bomani, and something to help me out. Like, he just like saying he realized, even though he loves writing and all that, you strip away all that stuff. Like, no matter what, like, I think a lot of people just don't know who they are. So, like, despite all that, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, lastly, to close it out, I wanted to shout out some resources real quick that people can use. We got SAMHSA. During this time, there's NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness. They got some resources on how you can cope with the coronavirus. SAMHSA is a good resource on places you can go to get help. Of course, us, if you want to email us, is our website. We're still a work in progress, but you can join our mailing list. We'll have some stuff, eventually we'll have some content to put out. And lastly, I don't know if we'll have time for this, but
yeah, it's going to cut out. You got an hour.
Yeah, we'll do this next time. In the next episode, we'll pick one of these categories and we'll basically grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, like how we're doing in that area, and then talk about it. And that's kind of going to be the main format for every episode going forward. In addition to, like, we'll pick a topic to discuss. So, all right, thank you everybody who took the time to watch this. And anything else you want to say, big bro?
Sound good. Y'all stay safe out here.
Yeah, I think that's everything. And just remember, healed men, healed communities. That's our slogan. So just think about that this week. Y'all take care. God bless.
All right.
Hi, big bro.
Yep.